and Boolean algebra. So let us start with what is the objective of studying this topic, and what are the gates, and what is Boolean algebra. So let us go into the depth about the topic. So the objective of this topic is to understand the relationship between Boolean logic and digital computer circuits, learn how to design simple logic circuits, and understand how digital circuits work together to form complex computer systems. So, in the later part of the 19th century, George Boole incensed philosophers and mathematicians alike when he suggested that logical thought could be represented through mathematical equations. Computers are, as we know them today, are implementations of Boole's laws of thoughts. In the middle of the 20th century, computers were commonly known as thinking machines and electronic brains. So nowadays, we rarely ponder the relationship between electronic digital computers and human logic. Computers are accepted as a part of our lives, but still many people, however, feel fearful of them. So in this, we will learn the simplicity and constitutes the essence of the machine. Boolean algebra. It is a mathematical system for the manipulation of variables that can have one of two values. In formal logic, these values are true and false. In digital systems, these values are on and off, 1 and 0, high and low. Boolean expressions are created by performing operations on Boolean variables. The common Boolean operators are and, are, not. So these are all the basic operators that manipulates the Boolean values. So the Boolean operator can be completely described using a truth table. The truth table for the Boolean operator and are shown at the right, and the AND operator is also known as Boolean product. The OR operator is the Boolean sum. Similarly, the truth table for the Boolean NOT operator is shown at the right. The NOT operation is most often designated by an over bar. It is sometimes indicated by a prime mark, quotation, or elbow. Boolean function. It has at least one variable. It has at least one Boolean operator and at least one input from the set 0 or 1. So it produces an output that is also a member of the set 0, 1. So now you know why the binary numbering system is so handy in digital systems. The truth table for the Boolean function f of x comma y comma z is equals to x y z bar plus y can be shown at the right. So as you can see, the first term x y bar we use first we done z inverse. Okay, the inverse of z here is 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. And then we are multiplying this z bar with x, so that gives this results, and finally we are adding x by xz bar plus y, so that will be the final value. So to make evaluation of the Boolean function easier, the truth table contains extra column to hold the evaluation subpart of the function. So as with common arithmetic Boolean operations have rules of precedence, the NOT operator has the highest priority, followed by and then are. So this is how we chose the function subparts in our table. Okay, digital computers contain circuits that implements Boolean function. Okay, the world is going around digital. Okay, wherever you can see it is surrounded by digital system. Okay, so all these digital computers has circuit, and all the circuits that implements one Boolean function. So the simpler that we can make a Boolean function, the smaller the circuit that will result. Simple circuits are cheaper to build, consumes less power, and run faster than complex circuits. So with this in mind, we always want to reduce our Boolean function to the simplest form. So there are a number of Boolean identities that help us to do this. So most Boolean identities have an AND form as well as an OR form. So we give our identity using both forms. Our first group is rather initiative. So identity name here is identity law, null law, idempotentum law, inverse law. So what are the identity law? 1 into x is equals to 1. Multiplying 1 with x will give you x. Multiplying 0 into x will give you what? 0. So we can state that idempotentum law x6, how many times there should be x in the expression, which is equivalent to 1x. Inverse law, x into x bar is equals to 0. So this is in the form of AND. In the form of R, 0 plus x, adding 0 with x, it will give you x. 1 plus x, which is equivalent to 1. So 1 with any variable in the expression 1 plus any number of variable which is equivalent to 1. And then idempotentum law in the R form, x plus x is equal to any number of x if you are adding, that will give you 1x, and x plus x bar which is equivalent to 1. So these are all the various basic clause Boolean identities, so which comes with AND form and R form. Our second group of Boolean identities should be familiar to you from your study of algebra. The one is identity name and form or form. So identity name are commutative law, associative law, distributive law. So let us see what is commutative law. Commutative law, the left side is equals to right hand side. So the left side expression xy can also be written as what? Y into x. Similarly, in the R form, x plus y can also be written as y plus x. Associative law, x, y multiplying with z can also be written as x of y into z. So in the R form, x plus y plus z can also be written as x plus y plus z. In distributive law, x plus y into z is equals to x plus y into x plus z. So in the R form, x into y plus z can be written as xy plus xz. Okay, so these are all very the repeatedly used Boolean laws are commutative law, associative law, and distributive law. So I'll repeat: commutative law is xy is equals to yx, xy into z is equals to x into yz, x plus yz can also be written as x plus y and x plus z, which is it's same as R form. Our last group of Boolean identities are the most useful one. If you have studied set theory or formal logic, these laws are very familiar to you. The next one is absorption law, De Morgan's law, double complement law. Absorption law. So the other important law in the Boolean algebra is x into x plus y is equals to x. Okay, in the R form, the way you have to represent in the absorption law is x plus xy is equals to x. In De Morgan's law, x by whole bar can be written as x bar plus y bar. In the R form, x plus y whole bar can be written as x bar into y bar. Okay, and double complement, when you do more or twice complement, then it will give you the original variable. So x bar whole bar, which is equivalent to what? X only. So what are all the laws we discussed? The basic identities are identity law, null law, idempotentum law, inverse law. The second group of Boolean identities are commutative law, associative law, distributive law. And the third group are absorption law, De Morgan's law, double complement law. So you need to very familiar with these laws. Without these laws, you cannot able to minimize the expression. So those laws are very useful for minimizing the Boolean expression. So why we are minimizing Boolean expression? Because it makes the circuit very simple. So and it also reduces the hardware cost. So we can use Boolean identities to simplify the function. So let us consider f of x comma y comma z is equals to x plus y into x plus y bar into x y bar whole bar as follows. So first assume now this is in the form of idempotentum law. Which one? So when you rewrite this x plus y bar into x z bar whole bar, okay, and then if you apply De Morgan's law for this x into y bar whole bar, it's like a b whole bar. So writing this, you will get a bar plus b bar, so that is x bar plus z, okay, because the double complement will give you x. So what you will get, x plus y bar into x bar plus z, okay. Apply distributive law. So distributive law in the sense, multiply x into x with y bar, y into x, y into y bar, and then you have one more thing left, and apply commutative and distributive law. So here for a double x, we will get x, y into y bar, multiplying this, okay, anyway write this, x is common, for these two terms, y plus y bar, and you have the remaining term x bar plus z, okay. Now x plus 0, you will get x plus 1, and you have only one this term left. So for this you will get x, and then so x plus x will get only 1x, x into x bar plus z. So again idem potentum law, apply distributive law, x into x bar plus xy. So x into x bar inverse law, you'll get 0, and finally you got xz. Okay, so this is how you need to minimize the, see, initially the Boolean expression have how many terms? 3 terms, x plus y into x plus y bar into xz bar whole bar. So using the Boolean algebras identities, you have reduced into only one term. That is, the one term has only two variable x and z. So sometimes it is more economical to build a circuit using the complement of a function. So based upon the Boolean function only, we are building a circuit. Okay. So and it is it takes more cost while building a circuit. Okay. So that and complementing its results. So then it is to implement the function directly. So De Morgan's law provides an easy way of finding the complement of a Boolean function. So just we recall, what is De Morgan's law state? Xy whole bar is equals to x bar plus y bar, and x plus y whole bar is equals to x bar into y bar. Okay, so De Morgan's law can be extended to any number of variables. Okay, it is not that it is stipulated for only two variable a b whole bar, which can be written a bar plus b bar. Yeah, this can be applied for any number of variables. So replace each variable by its complement and change all the ands to r's and all r's to ands. So as you can see, f of x comma y comma z is equals to xy plus x bar z plus y z bar. So applying complement of these, yeah, you may get the expression xy plus x bar z plus y z bar whole complement. Again apply De Morgan's law and break the expression. Finally you got the expression x bar plus y bar, x plus y z bar plus y bar plus z. So through our exercise in simplifying Boolean expression, we see that there are a number of ways stating that Boolean expression. So these synonymous forms are logically equivalent. Logically equivalent expressions have identical truth table. So in order to eliminate as much confusion as possible, designers express Boolean function in a standardized or canonical form. So there are two canonical forms for Boolean expression. One is sum of product and product of sum. Okay, and sum of product form and variables are together. The example is given here. F of x comma y comma z is equals to xy plus xz plus yz. So these are all the product, and these are all using our we sum together, and in product of sum, all the variables are added together. So here there are three terms which uses OR gate, and finally it is multiplied. All these terms are get multiplied by AND gate. Okay, so it is easy to convert a function to sum of product from using its truth table. So we are interested in the value of the variable that make the function true, which is equivalent to 1. So using the truth table, we list the value of the variable that results in a true function value. So each group of variable is then added together. So the sum of product form of our function is f of x comma y is at s. So here according to the output value, according to this output value, you can write the input expression. So for this, where we got the output value for which input combination, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. So for those combination, you can write the sum of product here. So already we know how to write the min term and max term. Okay, so we know that this function is not in simple terms. Our aim is to only rewrite our function in the canonical sum of product. Okay. So here the given expression is not in the standard form, because every term in the expression contains equal number of variable. But here the from the given 3 input variable, for this first term one variable is missing, in the second term 2 variables are missing. So in order to convert into standard form, we can use this truth table. Okay, we can use the truth table and to bring up into the canonical form. So this is one way to bring up in the standard sum of product. Okay, now let us see logic gates. So we have looked at Boolean function in abstract term. We just saw overview of what is Boolean algebra. So in this section, we see that Boolean functions are implemented in digital computer circuits called gates. Okay, so basically the digital computer circuits or all circuits which is used in the digital computer are implemented, are built up with the gates. Gates are the very important component in the any electronical digital electronical circuit. So let us see what is meant by gate. Gate is an electronic device that produces a result based on 2 or more input values. So in reality, gate consists of 1 to 6 transistors, but digital designers think of them as a single unit. So what we all know is it is a single unit, but it has 1 to 6 transistors. Okay, transistors. So integrated circuits contain collection of gates suited to a particular purpose. Okay, let us start with the 3 simplest gates which is used for designing a circuit. The simplest gates are the AND, OR and NOT gate. Okay, so you can see the symbol of AND gate, OR gate and NOT gate. So this AND gate comes with 2 input and OR gate also 2 input. NOT gate has only 1 input, 1 output. So here is the table, truth table given to verify in order to demonstrate how the AND gate is working. Okay, so they correspond directly to the respective Boolean operations, as you can see by the truth table, x and y, x r y, not x. Okay, so let us see in another very useful gate is the exclusive OR gate. So the output of the XOR operation is true only when the value of the inputs differ. Okay. Okay, just I want to tell you how this output comes for AND gate. AND gate is simply a multiplication of one value with other value. So the output of AND gate is always high. When it is always high, when all the inputs are high. See here the given here the x value is 1 and the y value is 1, and when the two inputs are high, then the output is high, otherwise the outputs are 0. In the OR gate, if any one of the input is high, the output is high. If all the inputs are low, then the outputs are low. Okay, this is like simply using adding operation. In a NOT gate, when you give 0, it inverts the input as 1. When you give 1 as input, it inverts as 0. So the basic operations used in AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate. So in this exclusive OR, when the output is when the output is when the output is when the output is 1, if any one of the input is high, okay, it doesn't matter how many number of input is having 0, but if among a number of inputs, if any of the one input is high, then the output will be high. So the expression for the exclusive OR is x XOR of y, so which is equivalent to x y bar plus y x bar. Okay, so the special symbol is used for representing the XOR gate. And the NAND and NOR gate. So these are all the very important gates. We can also say these two gates are universal gates. So why? In the sense, using these two gates, you can implement other gates like AND, OR, and NOT. Okay, so that is why these two gates are called as universal gates. So it's like inverse of AND is what we call as will get NAND gate, and inverse of OR gate what you will get is NOR gate. Okay, so NAND and, as I said earlier, NAND and NOR are known as universal gates because they are inexpensive to manufacture, and any Boolean function can be constructed using only NAND or only NOR gate. Okay, so here are the circuit shown that using NAND gate one can implement NOT function, and using NAND gate one can implement AND function, and using NOT gate one can implement OR function. Okay, so gates can have multiple inputs and more than one output. Okay, the second output can be provided for the complement of the operation. We will see more of this later. As you can see, there are many inputs and one output, or many inputs and many outputs too. Okay. So the main thing to remember is that the combination of gates implement Boolean function. The circuit below implements the Boolean function f is equals to x plus y bar into z. Okay, we simplify our Boolean expression so that we can create a simple circuit. So combinational circuit. We that implements the Boolean function. So here is an example of a combinational logic. So that produces a specified output at the instant when input values are applied. So combinational logic circuit give us many useful devices. One of the simplest is the half adder, which finds the sum of two bits. We can gain some insight as to the construction of a half adder by looking at its truth table shown at the right. So as you can see, there are two inputs and two outputs, sum and carry. When you add two values, binary value, the sum is 0 and there is no carry obviously. And when you add 0 plus 1, you will get 1 as sum and there is no carry. When you add 1 plus 0, you will get sum as 1, the output is 0. And when you add, there is carry, output is 0. When you add 1 and 1, the sum is 0 and the carry is 1. Okay, so here is the circuit for half adder, so which uses one exclusive OR for producing sum, and one is for one AND gate is for carry. So we can change our half adder into a full adder by including gates for processing the carry bit. So the truth table for the full adder is shown at the right. So how can we change the off adder shown below to make it as a full adder? So just you can include two off adder together. That makes you a full adder. So here's our completed full adder. So just adding these two, you will get a full adder circuit. So just as we combined half adders to make a full adders can be connected in series. So the carry bit ripples from one adder to the next. Hence, this configuration is called a ripple carry adder. See, as you can see, adding these three numbers, sure there will be a carry. Propagating carry from one adder to other adder is what we call this ripple carry adder. Okay, ripple carry adder. So today's systems employ more efficient adders. Okay, so combinational circuits, decoder are one of an example we can say that comes under combinational circuit. So among other things, they are useful in selecting a memory location according a binary value placed on the address line of a memory bus. So address decoder with n inputs can select any of 2 power n location. So this is the block diagram of a decoder. This decoder has n inputs and n outputs. So this is what 2 to 4 decoder looks like on the diagram. So if x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 1, which output line is enabled? See, there are 0, 1 which is equivalent to 1. So it enables x, y bar. So this line will get enabled. The other example for I'm just giving an outline abstract of combination circuit. We will see a detailed session of a combination circuit later. Okay, and these are all the examples that comes under combination circuit. A multiplexer does just the opposite of a decoder. It selects a single output line. Basically, multiplexer means many to one. It selects a single output from several input. So the particular input chosen for output is determined by the value of the multiplexer control line. So to be able to select among n inputs, log to n control lines are needed. Say for example, these two are the control lines which enable us to select the input, and that input will be sent to the output. Say if it is 0 0, the input line that connects to the output is I0. Okay, so this is how we are enabling the input according to the control line. So the control line is where it controls the input line, and that input line will be connected to the output. Okay, and here is an example of how 4 to 1 multiplexer looks like inside. Okay, and we have one more shifter shift register. So this moves the bits of a nibble one position to left to right. So finally, computers are implemented of Boolean logic, and Boolean functions are completely described by the truth tables. So logic gates are small circuit that implement Boolean operators. So the basic gates are and are not. XOR gate is very useful in parity checker and adder. The universal gates are NOR and NAND. So computer circuits consist of combination logic circuit as well as sequential logic circuit. A combination circuit produces output immediately when their input changes. Sequential circuit requires clocks to control the change of state. So the basic sequential circuit unit is the flip-flop. The behavior of the SR, JK and D flip-flop are most important to know. So this and all we will discuss later. It's just an outline I'm giving in this session. So the behavior of sequential circuit can be expressed using characteristics table or various finite state machine, and Mori and Mealy are two category of a sequential circuit, and algorithmic state machines are better than Mori and Mealy at expressing timing and complex signal interactions. And examples of sequential circuits include memory, counter, and Viterbi encoder and G encoder. So thank you. We will see. I'll come up with another topic in the next session. Thank you.